Why, yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well,
there were lots of people coming up then, and one of them was Buddy Holly. We loved his vocal sound and we loved his guitar playing. But most of all, I think, was the fact that he actually wrote the stuff himself. That's what turned us on.
When I went to art school, I was at art school for 5 years. When I went to, this was sort of college, you know, I went in there, they would only allow jazz to be played. You know, they wouldn't allow rock and roll in, it was frowned upon those days. So we had to con them into letting us play rock and roll there on the record player by calling it blues, you know.
As I became a teenager, I was about, I think about 12 or 13 when I first heard Fats Domino. I'm in Love Again. That was the first, I think, what I would call the first rock and roll record I ever heard.
Even Bill Haley was around then.
I remember being in school when I was a kid, and somebody had a picture in one of the musical papers of Elvis. I think it was an advert for Heartbreak Hotel. And I just looked at it and just thought, he's just so good looking. He just looked perfect.
When I was 16, Elvis is what was happening. A guy with long, greasy hair, wiggling his ass and singing Hound Dog and That's All Right Mama on those early Sun records, which I think are his great period.
That's him. That is the guru we have been waiting for. The Messiah has arrived.
you ain't nothing but
One of our favourite records around that time was one called Searching by the Coasters.
We got to hear people like Big Bill Broonzy. I think he might have even done a tour of England.
Why did you trade heaven just for these earthly things?
I was a big fan of his, and actually Frankie Lane.
You know, all those train songs and, you know, Rock Island Line and all that stuff.
Well, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Well, the Rock Island Line is the road.
Suddenly here was a rock and roll hero who had glasses.
I love you,
The first music I can remember hearing as guitar-oriented music was Jimmy Rogers, the singing brakeman.
I had no idea about doing music as a way of life until rock and roll hit me. And then when rock and roll hit me, that changed my whole life.
Drums were the only thing I wanted. And I came out and I used to look in shops and see drums. That's all I looked at. I never looked at guitars or anything.
My dad used to be a trumpet player himself, and for my birthday he once bought me a trumpet from Rushworth and Drapers. It was one of the music stores in Liverpool.
And then when I was 16, I re-established a relationship with my mother for about 4 years. She taught me music. She first of all taught me the banjo, and from that I progressed to guitar. The first song I learned was Ain't That a Shame, an old rock hit, Fats Domino.